Up in the air. There is another part of the earth that isn't joined to it but is still very important. Important. Without it, life on the earth would not exist. It is the earth's atmosphere. Atmosphere. The atmosphere is the layer of gases around the earth. Gravity holds it in place. We can't see it, but we can see some of the things that are in it, such as clouds. The atmosphere helps us in many ways. Firstly, it keeps us warm but not too hot. Light and heat energy from the sun travels through space toward our planet. This energy warms the earth, and the gases in the atmosphere trap the heat like a giant blanket. This means that our planet is warm enough for life to exist all over it. It never gets too hot during the day or too cold during the night. This effect is called the greenhouse effect. It is a good thing unless there is an increase of certain gases in the atmosphere. Then the earth warms up too much. Some scientists believe this is happening today. Secondly, the atmosphere allows us to breathe. All the gases in the atmosphere together are called air. Human, animals, and plants all need air to survive. Mountaineers who climb very high often notice that they cannot breathe easily. The air there is much thinner because they are high up. When air moves about in the atmosphere, it makes wind. We can't see it, but we can feel it, we can hear it, and we can see the effect it has on things. Sometimes you might not feel any wind on the ground, but if you look up, the clouds are moving quickly. This tells you that the wind is blowing higher in the atmosphere. Sometimes at ground level, the wind is a gentle breeze. Sometimes it is a wild hurricane. Scientists measure the force of the wind on a scale of 1 to 12. This is called the Beaufort scale. 0 means there is no wind at all. 1 to 3 means that there is a light wind or breeze. The sea is fairly calm and the wind moves leaves on the trees. This type of wind is very useful. It keeps people cool on a hot day. It dries clothes that have been hung out to dry. It also fills the sails of boats to move them along and allows people to fly kites. A wind that reaches 7 or 8 is called a gale. During a gale, trees bend and twigs may snap off. The sea is rough with high waves and white foam. Tiles may blow off the roofs of houses. People find it difficult to walk against such a strong wind. When the wind is 10 or 11 on the Beaufort scale, it is called a storm. When this happens, trees are blown down. They can block roads and damage cars. Power lines may also be blown down, so homes lose electricity. Buildings may be damaged, and it can take days for the mess to be cleaned up. The sea is a dangerous place to be in a storm, since the waves are incredibly high and ships may tip over. However, all of these winds are nothing compared with the strength of a force 12 wind. This is known as a hurricane, cyclone, or typhoon. These are all the same thing, but they are called by different names depending on where in the world they occur. In Asia, they are generally known as typhoons. In the Atlantic Ocean, they are called hurricanes. Around the Indian Ocean and Australia, people call them cyclones. Hurricanes are incredibly powerful. The winds move around in a huge circle, which may be several kilometers across. Within this circle of wind and clouds, the winds are strong enough to lift cars from the road and throw them through the air. Boats may be snatched from the sea and dumped on a nearby road. Trees blow down, glass windows break, and the air is filled with dirt and garbage. The sea is full of massive waves, which may break over the beach and flood large areas. People must take shelter or leave an area completely while a hurricane lasts. This may take several hours or even days. In the very center of the swirling circle of winds is an area called the eye of the hurricane. Here it is completely calm. It may feel as though the danger has passed, but as the eye moves on, the strong winds start again. Hurricanes are such powerful things that scientists give each one a name. They are given a male name and a female name alternately, according to the letters of the alphabet. Perhaps one of the most famous hurricanes of the 21st century was Hurricane Katrina, which hit the American city of New Orleans in 2005. 80% of the city was flooded with seawater reaching up to 19 kilometers inland from the coast. The floodwater stayed in the streets for many weeks. It left people trapped in their homes with no power, food, or fresh water to drink. More than 1,800 people died, and thousands were left homeless. The most powerful typhoon ever recorded was Typhoon Haiyan. The wind speed was around 315 kilometers per hour at its strongest. It hit the Philippines in November 2013 and devastated large areas. It is estimated that 10 million people were affected. Hundreds of people were killed, and many others were left homeless, without food or water. A national calamity was declared by the government, and other countries sent aid to help them. Another dangerous type of wind is a tornado. A tornado is a column of air that is spinning around. The top end is joined to a storm cloud, and the bottom end touches the ground. Normally, you cannot see air, but a tornado may be full of water droplets and dust. It looks like a dark, twisting tube that travels quickly across the ground. There are thousands of tornadoes every year. Most of them are small and only travel a few kilometers before they disappear. But sometimes things are very different. A violent tornado struck the American state of Oklahoma in May 2013. It was several kilometers across and continued for 39 minutes. During that time, it traveled 27 kilometers through a city neighborhood. It destroyed houses, schools, and hospitals, and it killed and injured many people. There are many ways in which the earth reminds us of its power. Earthquakes, volcanoes, and strong winds show us that the earth is never still. It is moving and changing all of the time. It is a restless earth.